Assalamualaikum students, I hope you all are fine, safe and sound at your places. Today is 8th January 2024 and Monday, and today we are going to start a new lesson, unit number 19, The Lake Isle of Innisfree. As you can see, it's a poem on your book page number 162. So have a look on your book page number ORC 162. Open your books, all of you. Okay, before moving towards this, the explanation of this poem, let me tell you the background of this poem, that who has written this poem and what is main idea of this poem. This poem is written by William Butler Yeats. He was born in country Dublin, Ireland, and he has spent his childhood in Ireland, the place of Innisfree, and this place is being discussed in this poem as well. So he wants to go back in those days in his childhood, and he wants to feel that same environment, that same feeling as he was feeling, as he has felt that feeling in his childhood as well. So he has written this poem in the memories of his childhood, that how he has spent those days in his childhood over there. He was fascinated from an early age by Irish folklore. He lived for a long period of his life in London, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1923. He died in France, and he wrote The Lake Isle of Innisfree when he is reminded of the holidays of his childhood by a novelty fountain in the window of a shop in Fleet Street, London. When he was walking around the street in the London, he remembered all those days which he has spent in his childhood in Ireland, in this place Innisfree. So this poem is about poet's desire. His desire is to abandon city life and live alone on a small island in Ireland. This poem actually idealizes the natural world. Once you will read this poem, you will get to know that this is actually a desire of the poet, poet wants to go back in his childhood and want to live those days again. According to the writer, this place is an ideal place to live. It is surrounded by nature and is full of peace and solitude. He contrasts it with the grey and unnatural world of the city. Here are a few vocabulary words that we will discuss also. So let's discuss them first, and later on we'll move towards the explanation. Here are a few vocabulary words that we have to discuss. First word is Innisfree. This I have already told you about this Innisfree. Innisfree is a place in Ireland where the poet has spent his childhood when he was too small. Next word we have wattles. Wattles. W-A-T-T-L-E-S. Wattles. Wattles. You need to use your dictionary and you need to tell me the meaning of these words. Wattles. Yes, correct. Wattles is a material such as branches and twigs which we use to make fence and walls. Very good. And we'll see how the poet has used these words in this poem. Third word we have be loud. Be loud. Be loud. Be loud is a word that is a buzzing sound of honeybees. Be loud. Poet wants to listen and observe the buzzing sound of honeybees while living over there. Next word we have glade. Glade. G-L-A-D-E. Glade. So use your dictionary and tell me the meaning of this word, glade. That's correct. It is an area, a wide open area without forest and without trees. The poet is expecting to be there and observing all these bee louds and other things as well while sitting in a glade. Glade is a wide open area where the poet wants to sit and enjoy that peaceful environment while sitting over there. Cricket. Cricket. Next word we have cricket. And it doesn't mean that poet wants to play cricket match over there in a glade. Cricket means here it is an insect that poet wants to observe the soothing singing songs of the insect, the feathers. I'm showing you the picture of this cricket as well here. Look at the picture and you can see that what kind of insect. It is like a grasshopper. And poet is quite keen observer that he wants to listen, and he wants to listen the chirping sound by rubbing its four wings together. He wants to listen the sound of his feathers as well. Poet is this much keen observer. He want to observe, he want to listen, and he want to enjoy that peaceful environment by sitting over the glade. Next word we have is limit. 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 Yes, who will tell me the meaning of the limit? That's very good. Linnet are the small, tiny, brownish birds with this long tail. And I'm showing you the picture as well of the linnet. You can see. So we'll see that how poet has used these vocabulary words in this poem to tell about his desire. And the last vocabulary word we have core. C-O-R-E, core. That means something very important. That is a central or the most important part of something. That is a core. Like a heart. Heart is a core and most important part of a human body. It is a core part of the human body. So we'll see that how the poet has used these vocabulary words in the poem. And also you need to make the sentences of these vocabulary words in your notebooks as well. So till here we have done few vocabulary words, that is Innisfree, wattles, be loud, glade, cricket, linnet and core. We have 7 vocabulary words that you need to write the meanings, English meanings, synonyms of these vocabulary words using your dictionary that you have told me now in your notebooks. So let's move towards the explanation and the reading of this poem. This poem is an interplay between nature and the city life. The speaker values living alongside the nature more than he values city life. You will see in this poem, poet was so absorbed in this ideation of places that he thought of building a small cabin of clay and bottles to live peacefully away from the hustle and bustle of the city life where he lived. He wants to grow a few crops over there. He wants to listen and observe the be loud of honeybees, the buzzing sound of honeybees, having a peaceful environment over there. He wants to breathe in a peaceful environment while sitting in a glade. While sitting in a glade, in a peaceful environment, without any trees, without any forest, in a wide open area where he wants to breathe in a peaceful life. He believed that he would attain peace in such a place where the morning characterized by the sounds of cricket. That cricket which I have told you, that is a small insect that looks like a grasshopper. And the poet is quite keen observer that even he wants to observe, even he wants to listen the sound of the feathers of that cricket as well. So I'll tell you the details while reading it side by side. So let's have a look on the poem as well. Now, the Lake Isle of Innisfree. As I told you in the start, that this poem is an interplay between the nature and the city life. The speaker values living alongside the nature more than he values city life. That's why he's saying, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles bait. Poet was so absorbed in the idea of place that he thought of building a small cabin and wattles to live peacefully away from the hustle and bustle of the city where he lived. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee loud glade. This is his desire that he thought of growing bean crop, having a hive for honeybees, and living alone with the buzzing sound of honeybees in an open place where he can enjoy the peaceful environment. And I shall have some peace there, for peace becomes dropping slow, dropping from the wheels of morning to where the cricket sings. Here the word crickets is, it doesn't mean the match of the cricket. Cricket means a leaping insect that produces chirping sound by rubbing its feathers together. So the poet believed that he would attain peace in such a place where the morning characterized by the sound of cricket. There midnights all a glimmer and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. Linnets are the brownish birds, small birds, brownish small birds, which they have long tail. The poet is saying that the night is starry and the noon is purple glow of heather, and the evening is decked with the linnets. Do you know what linnets are? Linnets are small brownish birds which are having long tails. So actually poet has idealized this place where he spent his childhood days, and he wants to go back to feel the same peaceful life in his life, peaceful days in his life, so that he can make himself relax and calm instead of being settled in the city and noisy life. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey. I hear it in the deep heart core. Even the poet is walking around the roadway at his in the city. Still, he can feel the sound of lake water in his core heart. He was actually idealizing himself in that same peaceful place where he wants to go. That's why he's saying, even if I am walking around the pavement or the roadside way, and even in the noisy road, I can feel the sound of the lake water, the soothing sound of the lake water inside me, inside my heart's core, deep inside my heart's core. The poet's desire to go to Innisfree was so strong that he felt like moving Innisfree instantly. We can say that the poet wanted to escape from the never ending desires, fancy life, and materialism of the city. Yes, actually, he, he did. He had this feeling that he wants to run away from this busy and materialistic life of the city, and he just wants nature and peace inside him. and in his surroundings as well. Okay, what do you say? Do you agree that in the city there is so much rush and noise that we cannot hear the soft voice of our inner self, of our inner side? So it is important to stay connected to ourselves and live a meaningful life. And it will also help us to heal our souls. So that was a simple poem written by William Butler explaining his desire to meet a peaceful life in his childhood place. Okay, everyone, stay attentive, and we are doing the question answers of this poem. First question number one is saying, what are simple things that the poet wants to do at Innisfree? So if you have read this poem with me carefully, you must know the answer of this question. That what are the simple things that poet actually wants to do over there in the place where he wants to go? So one by one, each student will tell me the one thing what he wants to do over there. So that's very good. The first thing poet wants to do, he wants to build a small cabin. Correct. He wants to build a small cabin with clay and bottles. And what is the second thing he wants to do? Anyone? Yeah, perfect. He wants to grow crops, bean crops over there. He wants to grow bean crops. And after that, what he wants to do? He wants to live alone over there with the buzzing sound of honeybees in an open wide place. That's very good. And perfect. He wants to listen the songs of beautiful bird linnet. That's very good. Perfect. And one more thing about the cricket, the insect cricket. One thing was there. He wants to listen the chirping sound produced by the rubbing four wings of the insect cricket. Yes. So here I have told you 5 things total. Here you people have told me 5 total things. First, he wants to build a small cabin with the clay. He wants to grow beans over there. He wants to live with the buzzing sound of honeybees. That's correct. Third one, he wants to listen the soothing songs of the bird linnets. Perfect. And the last one, he wants to listen the chirping sound producing by the rubbing forefeathers of the insect cricket. That's correct. So you need to write all these points in your own words with no spelling mistakes in your notebooks. Okay, let's move towards the second question now. Question number 2 is saying, why do you think the poet dreams of Innisfree? As I told you in the start, that poet has spent his childhood days in that place in Ireland. That's why he has the memories of those days and he wants to remind those days. As I told you in the start, that poet was fascinated from an early age by Irish folklore, and he lived a long period of his life in that place. And when he was living in the London, and he was reminded of the holy days of his childhood in that place. That's why he wants to remind those days in a peaceful way, and that he wants to go over there, and it is his desire to live over there again, to live a peaceful life over there again, from the hustle and bustle of the city life. That's why he wants to go over there. That's why he's thinking over there, thinking about that place again and again. His desire is to abandon city life and live alone on a small island in Ireland. And he idealizes the natural world. That's why the poet dreams of the Innisfree. So here are the two questions which I have told you, and you need to write the answers of these two questions in your own words in your notebooks, along with the vocabulary words that we have done in the starts, the 7 vocabulary words. Write the correct English meanings of those words in your notebooks with the right answers of these questions as well. And remember, students, you need to do your work with a good handwriting and make your work more presentable. Okay? Okay, that's it for today. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.